At a truly unique time in history, 16 men have been entered in a tournament. A tournament based on the core principles of what this company was built on. Athleticism, technique, skill, intelligence, honor. When the smoke clears, a new champion will be crowned. This is the Pure Wrestling Tournament. And this is Ring of Honor.
Hi, I'm Quinn McKay, and I'm here to update you on everything going on for the week in Ring of Honor. And the upcoming Pure Tournament to crown a brand new ROH Pure Champion. Going forward, we'll be premiering week by week on a new day and time, so be sure to mark your calendars for every Tuesday. I promise that the only thing that's changing is the day, because I'm going to continue bringing you all of the ROH info like I have for the last 5 months, which is impressive by itself. So, yay to 5 months. Also, as you know, over the weekend, the tournament to crown a brand new Pure Champion started, and the wrestling world is absolutely buzzing. We kicked off the tournament with a main event match as two former ROH World Champions squared off. We saw the franchise Jay Lethal victorious in a hard-fought bout over Dalton Castle. I was able to get comments from Lethal immediately following the match, so let's go to those now. I'm Quinn McKay, backstage at the Ring of Honor Pure Tournament to crown a Ring of Honor Pure Champion for the first time since 2006. After a very successful matchup against Dalton Castle, Jay Lethal looks to be well on his way. Jay, can I get a few comments?
Sure. Wow. Oh my goodness. Want me to do this properly? I brought my mask here.
Oh yes, we strongly encourage mask use and social distancing.
Maybe tough to talk with this thing on, so I'll lower it just a little bit. First of all, elephant in the room. It's a little hard out there to get that second win or that burst of adrenaline when the fans aren't there. But I was able to overcome it. I beat Dalton Castle tonight, which means I'm on my way. I'm on my way to becoming the only ever two-time Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Now, another question that's probably on your mind is, you know, who am I worried about facing in the upcoming bout? My next match is either against Finlay or it's against Rocky. And which do I prefer? Well, it's real simple. The object of this Pure title tournament is to bring out the best wrestling on the planet. Bring out the pure athlete in yourself. And what better way to do that than by facing either Finlay or Rocky? Now, I've never faced Finlay or Rocky in a singles match. So for me, it's a win-win. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't really care, because what I care about is, one, pushing myself to the limit, which is what this tournament is all about, and two, becoming the only two-time ever Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Champion.
With that win, Lethal advances to the Block A semifinals to face either Rocky Romero or David Finlay. On the Block B side, we saw his tag team champion partner, the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham, advance in the tournament by defeating the debuting Wheeler Yuta in a great back-and-forth technical match. I was able to get comments from Gresham immediately following his match, so let's take a look at that now. I'm Quinn McKay, backstage at the Ring of Honor Pure Title Tournament. After an incredibly aggressive attack from Jonathan Gresham, Wheeler Yuta submitted. I'd like to get some comments from Jonathan Gresham now, who's either going to go on to face Delirious or Matt Sydal in the next round. Gresh, do you have any comments about facing Delirious or Matt Sydal?
Oh. You know, for my entire wrestling career, I knew that I was meant to do something important. What that wasn't clear until I joined Ring of Honor. Nothing is gonna stop me from accomplishing and getting to my destiny. And that is reshaping this company from the ground up. So no name that's synonymous with Ring of Honor, whether it be Delirious, whether it be Matt Sydal, is gonna stop me from doing what must be done. So bring your best. Either man, I tell you what, pure wrestlers will be victorious.
The Octopus advances to the Block B semifinals to face either Matt Sydal or Delirious. Now, it is entirely possible that tag team champion partners could collide in the finals, but there is a long road to travel before we get there. Because we are generally benevolent, both Gresham versus Yuta and Lethal versus Dalton will be uploaded in full without TV commercial breaks tomorrow, which is Wednesday on Honor Club. And right now, let's check out what's in store for this weekend's ROH TV as the tournament continues.
Ring of Honor's historic Pure Championship is back. 16 men have entered a tournament based on the core principles of Ring of Honor wrestling. This week, David Finlay battles Rocky Romero and Delirious clashes with Matt Sydal. This week on ROH TV.
Johnny says es Delirious. Innovatos was the 20 I know, Dominine. Ring of Honor, Jumbo Chess. So what about that? Come on, about that. There was this. That's a beat on what then, and feeling over there. Don't say, Ben, me, and not they ring as he. Don't let us say my letters. Don't be coming up and never so can use that about to protect. So we're gonna get up to Ring of Honor, full stroke. Go, I say. Say, go, there, throw it there. And oh, it was all because I got a midget. No, sir, Jay. So what about that? Come on, about that. There was this. I was for this. I talk like it. Oh, it's still like that, so blah. Everybody was in one star. A generation. And I was trying to make you whatever she's. That's all. All I was saying is 12 support, my side down. Oh, it was all because I got a midget. So what about that? Come on, about that. There was this. I didn't ism and schism. Tell him. I know that with us let me die. And so I get in and I put those. Met that up on it. Don't say, Ben and me, I thought they were against. Don't let us say my letters. Don't be coming up and never so can use that about to protect. So we got
When I first arrived into Ring of Honor, I was in college. I was in my junior year. I remember walking through the halls and just thinking, man, as soon as I drop this piece of paper off, I can cut out, drive to Cape Girardeau, we can head up to Minnesota, and the opportunity's there. The opportunity to be a part of Ring of Honor. This is back in 2004, and then, as it is now, the best wrestling has been Ring of Honor, and I've always wanted to be a part of it. My first round match with Delirious is the most puzzling match I've had in so long. From the moment I entered wrestling, I was just wrestling blind. And it wasn't until I met Delirious that I had my eyes open. The only person in a 500-mile radius of where I lived saw wrestling the same way, loved it the same way, and wanted to be a part of it. And wanted to not just be a part of it, but to create our own. And Delirious is the first person that ever pushed me to get outside my comfort zone, to stand up for myself. The only person in wrestling in my young career that gave me any value, that ever believed in me. Without him, I would have no career. It's as simple as that. That's why this is such a puzzling proposition, because I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's like wrestling myself, but in a funhouse mirror. The only way to know what's gonna happen is to actually put it in the ring. To have those two pieces come into contact with each other. And so early on in our career, when we met and we collided, it created an explosion that became all of this. And we're gonna have that same explosion in this Pure Championship match.
My name is David Finlay. I'm a fourth-generation professional wrestler. My father is Fit Finlay. My grandfather wrestled. My great-grandfather wrestled. My aunt was a referee. My brother, sister, and I were all amateur wrestlers growing up. So I come from a 100% wrestling family. Wrestling was always encouraged, but never pushed. I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, but I love wrestling so much, that's what I decided to do with my life. So once I graduated high school, I went to England for 6 months and wrestled over there, wrestled around the States for a bit. I went over to wrestle in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling since 2015. When I moved to Japan, it was really difficult. My first day of training in the dojo, we started off with 1,000 squats, and I didn't know one word in Japanese. I had no idea what number we were on. I had to watch the clock to figure out how deep in we were. Training in Japan came with a lot of challenges. It took me a while before I could kind of understand the language. It took me a while before I got into the swing of things. It's a tough system. I mean, they humble you, and they break you down, and they make you start from ground zero. This is actually my first time back in a Ring of Honor ring since February of 2019. The last time I was in an ROH ring, it was Juice Robinson and myself versus the Briscoes at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo for the ROH Tag Team Championships. And I dislocated my shoulder in the match. Tore half my labrum. I was out for 8 months. I had to have surgery to repair everything. So this, to me, is a chance to redeem myself. I had championship gold opportunity in my hands, and life happened, I got hurt. This is a chance to get championship gold in ROH again.
My name is Rocky Asuka Romero. 20 plus years in the professional wrestling world. In Ring of Honor, former multiple-time tag team champion. Been competing with Ring of Honor on and off since 2004. Yeah, I've shared the ring with multiple pure champions. John Walters, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, just to name a few. I've always been a fan of the pure title and kind of what it stands for, and just that it's down to the basic principles of professional wrestling, and that's what I really fell in love with when I started as a wrestler, and especially when I first came to Ring of Honor. So here I find myself 15, 16, 17 years later in a title opportunity, you know, in this tournament. It's really the only thing that I've been thinking of for the last couple of weeks, because this is an opportunity for myself to do what I couldn't do as a young man. When I first joined the New Japan Dojo in Los Angeles in 2002, that probably prepared me the best for this situation. For 2.5, 3 years was just getting my butt kicked by, you know, greats like Antonio Inoki, learning the catch as catch can style, working on the submission strikes, and I feel like all the preparation that I've done with MMA and jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, those are the things that have kind of prepped me the best for this tournament. David Finlay joined the New Japan Dojo in Japan, and he was in a Best of Super Junior tournament, and that was the first time that I encountered a very young and different David Finlay than who he is now. You know, he was very green at the time, a little wet behind the ears. You know, definitely not to the man that he's really grown into in the last couple years. Knowing David's weaknesses and strengths, yeah, that's gonna be helpful, but I think I'm gonna have to just outsmart him.
Delirious and Matt Sydal have a long history, and meeting again in an ROH ring is sure to be spectacular. And Finlay and Romero are sure to impress the next episode of ROH TV. Now, keep in mind, if one of the competitors is unable to compete for any reason, there will be alternates to fill in. The Block A alternate is the Mile High Magnum Dak Draper, and the Block B alternate is the Mecha Bryan Johnson. Let's go now to comments from both athletes.
A couple weeks ago, Ring of Honor told me that I needed to be ready for the Pure tournament. That's not a surprise at all. I mean, my amateur record speaks for itself, and I'm the Ring of Honor Top Prospect Tournament winner. Now, I was blindsided when they told me that I'm the A Block alternate. An online search has revealed that the word alternate means one that substitutes for or alternates with another. It's a noun. I'm sitting on the bench. Now, I could get mad about this, but instead I'm gonna look at the positives. I'm gonna take the high road. Being the A Block alternate is probably way better than being the B Block alternate. It would suck to be that guy. Also, there's a ton of really talented wrestlers that are competing. So A Block guys, do a great job. I'll be watching you, cheering you on from the high road. I hope you crush it. I hope you break a leg. Literally, break a leg. Because there's a 6'5", 250-pound super athlete waiting on the high road.
Ring of Honor is about to have one of the most important tournaments in professional wrestling history, and somehow I'm only a freaking alternate? Well, how fitting that I'm an alternate for Block B. A block full of bozos. So whether you're an octopus, a decoder, whether you're unpredictable or reborn, whether you quit your darn job, you're the bench player for Los Ignorables, or you're an airhead that should have stuck to MMA. Or whether you're my mentor, PJ Black. Anything could happen to you guys. You could slip and fall on your way to the ring. You could miss a flight. You could get food poisoning from room service. You could get locked in your room. You could get a weird call that your dog died. I don't know, but either way, somehow I'm gonna find a way that I'm gonna be the Mecca alternate. I'm gonna show the whole world why it's Mecca versus everybody.
Take it from me, it's important to never take anything Bryan Johnson says seriously at all. I brought up earlier the possibility of tag team partners clashing in the finals of the tournament. Well, Lethal and Gresham are not the only competitors that could find themselves in this situation. Let's go now to comments from Josh the Goods Woods.
I don't know. You're not even helping. You're only a really chatty Cathy, but right now, you're being a real bonehead, you understand? But listen, I don't know, man. It's just, I could fight Silas in the pure tournament in the finals. I mean, he's an A block, and I'm a B block. And we could talk. We're in the finals. But then he'd be like, no, Josh, this is my time. But this is my opportunity, so what? I mean, I'll definitely beat him. I would beat him up, Josh. You get me, you get me. You're a nobody. What do you know?
With all of the exciting news regarding the Pure Tournament, let's not forget all of the great content available on all of our platforms, like the ROH Strong podcast, for example. The latest episode features veteran New Japan Pro Wrestling and ROH star Rocky Romero, who talks about competing in the Pure title tournament and what it would mean for him to win, training under Japanese icon Antonio Inoki, wrestling as Black Tiger, and a ton more. Plus, the legendary Chico El Luchador graces us with his presence for 10 questions. We also have Fresh 50 Fridays, Throwback Thursday, Happy Hour with the Bouncers, and a bunch of other stuff that you can check out on our YouTube page every single week. Digressing here a little bit, there were so many times that I tried to get an interview with Session Moth Martina in the early days of Week by Week. It was always a disaster, and I eventually gave up on that when it seemed like the universe or somebody somewhere did not want that to happen. But a couple of weeks ago, right here on Week by Week, the blonde woman who refuses to let me say her name demanded a phone call from me. For some reason, Danhausen was working as a telephone operator, which is crazy. That day, he put me through to Session Moth Martina and not Goth Barbie, and it was great. I finally got to have a nice, pleasant interview with Martina, and also we have this great footage of She Who Shall Not Be Named waiting to connect that production was kind enough to pass along for my, and subsequently your, viewing pleasure. So, let's check it out.
This is why I wonder why Quinn even has a job. Can't even answer a phone. Are you kidding me?
You know, it really is the little things in life. Actually, let's see some more of that, just for good measure.
Of all people, I don't know why she does this to me. This will come back on her. Alright.
Good things come to those who wait. Patience is a virtue, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, we have a bunch of cool new stuff now available for the ROH Pro Shop, like my personal favorite, the ROH Weird Summer t-shirt, the award-winning Flamita t-shirt with a penguin in a Flamita mask eating a pizza, and awesome Briscoe Brothers t-shirt, and brand new Bateman t-shirt, in case you've got a thing for sociopaths, I guess. Speaking of Bateman being a sociopath, he's been rather quiet through quarantine, which is a little unnerving, honestly, but we recently received this message, and I'm told that there's more to come, so let's take a look at that now.
I am a man of passion. Allow me to attempt to explain. My passion lies not in flips or display for the sake of display, but the brutal simplicity of cruelty. Vincent appreciates an artist in the medium of misery, a craftsman of human suffering, and he understood that I was a very special man, and that's why he brought me to Ring of Honor, and that is when the ball game exploded. Now, why the righteous? Vincent has his reasons in me. I was born with the devil in me.
Do we not screen people for stuff like this when we hire them? Guys, Vincent is a full-blown cult leader with clowns in it. And whenever Bateman is around, I can actually hear that weird high-pitched screaming noise. I don't know where it comes from. Probably the fires of hell. To brighten my mood, let's go to more footage of Mandy Leone's worst half waiting on hold.
You know what? Hello? Testing my patience.
Wow, that is, honestly, that is just great. Remember that on Friday, September 25th, the very best of Death Before Dishonor will be streaming live on pay-per-view and Honor Club. You can see some of the very best matches from the past, featuring the current stars of ROH commenting and watching along. That's all that I have for you this week. Don't forget that up next is the Pure Tournament, Matt Sydal versus Delirious, and Rocky Romero versus David Finlay this weekend on ROH TV. And join us for #ROH Pure Watch Party every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can follow me at Quinn McKay on Twitter and ROH at Ring of Honor across all social media. And like and subscribe if you want us to keep putting out new episodes. And also, to validate my existence, maybe. I'm Quinn McKay, and I'll see you next week on Week by Week. Actually, next week might be Ian. Bye!
Hello, Ring of Honor. This is Danhausen. Didn't know if you lost my phone number because Danhausen apparently is not in the Pure Tournament. 16 other people are, but not Danhausen. Maybe it's because Danhausen's too evil. I don't know. Anyways, Danhausen has a message for you. Up yours! See you later.